Hi everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the automation training we are providing for service providers like accountancy firms, legal firms, coaching businesses, etc. So let me quickly share my screen and we'll directly go to the automation we are trying to build there. As I mentioned in my last video, that in this particular video, we'll look at how we can automate inserting a invoice record in our data. Okay, so let's quickly go to the data side of things. So we have the clients table. I have put some records here. You know, the phone number, email, address, and the projects which each client is associated to. So there are 3 projects, 3 clients. And what generally happens is that as a project gets completed, you want to raise an invoice for the client. Okay, to actually raise the invoice, in this particular scenario, we first have to create an invoice record so that we can then actually create an invoice, which is out of scope of this video, but we'll look at it. So to automate uh, the creation of invoice record, what we need to do, basically these entries you need not give every time manually. You can set up automation in Airtable itself. So Airtable provides its own automation internally. It starts off with a trigger. Okay, let me quickly create one automation for you doing this stuff. Okay, add a trigger. So it asks you what is the trigger. So depending on when account got created, updated, form was submitted, and so on and so forth. In this case, we want to create a trigger on project table when project status becomes done. Okay, and obviously project title needs to be not empty. When this is true, then this should get triggered, this automation should get triggered, and second step would be the action step, where we would actually create that record in the invoice table. Now, to move forward, let me quickly go to the data side of things, and let me go to projects. Let's assume that the second project, budget planning, has also moved to done. Okay, let me quickly, you can test this step. So what would happen is, whatever records are coming with that, with those conditions true, it will basically display here. So let's test with the second record there. Okay, and then what we need to add is a action, and that action is a create record action, because we want to create one record in invoices table, right? And what would happen is, all the data coming from the project table would be there for us to select. Here. So in this particular scenario, we would want to basically select the client from the project table, because project already has a client. The same client we want to put in the invoice table. Then second would be the date issued. This would be a dynamic field. There is a field we created with formula type known as today. So it basically, uh, you know, date issued would be when this automation is triggering. So that would be the date issued for that invoice. And third field we want to add is the amount, which would be nothing but the project fee there. So let's put the project fee. And status would be, the invoice status would be pending, because it's just we are creating an invoice record, and then we would need to send this invoice link to the client. Okay, which is our next set of steps. But yeah, initially the status of the invoice record would be pending. And then the notes. Notes is something which, you can copy from your project notes if you want. Otherwise, you can just keep it blank also if you want. So let me run this test and see if an invoice record got created. So, we see one record getting created under invoice table with this particular test. Let's quickly go to the data and see. Yes, so we have one invoice record created with client number 2, status pending, date issued, and due date. You know, as I mentioned, due date is 7 days. We have taken 7 days after the date issued, uh, which obviously can change from business to business, and so on and so forth. So yes, this is what I wanted to cover in this particular video. Hope it was informative, and it helps you identify or analyze, visualize how Airtable can really make your business organized and automated, so that you can save lots of time for your core business activity, and not in the admin side of things or mundane manual tasks which you or your employees may be doing, and help you save time, and at the end of the day helps you save some money as well in terms of costs. Okay, I'll see you in the next one, day 4. Thank you.